Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Well, I do. The footage I had recorded for today didn't come out right, so I'll just have to tell you about it, what was going to be today's video. I was going to make a kale video on how to properly prepare kale. But the footage that I got when I was out there last week, I just got around to checking it this morning for the edit, and I had something screwed up in my settings because it's not really usable. But we're going to talk about one of the comments that I got on yesterday's video very briefly. For those of you new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. You may be asking yourself, what in the world's going on here, Bob? What are we watching? Well, you're watching me walk. I know that doesn't seem super exciting. And wow, that sun's really right behind me there. But if you consider 14 months ago, a little over 14 months ago now, I couldn't do this. I could barely stand up for 2.5 minutes at a time without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking every day. Right now I'm going up that big hill. If you go back to one of my September videos, it was late September by the time I started to do this hill. I had to stop 3 or 4 times going up this hill and just stand there and breathe for a bit because I couldn't get up this hill and continue to talk. And now, most videos, this is the direction I start off in. So the primary purpose of this channel is to show you that it's never too late to change your life. I'm 60 years old, and I'm healthier now than I've been in probably 40 years. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here as well. It means a lot to me that you spend a couple minutes a day watching my videos. If you're still around at this point in the video, why don't you go ahead and consider subscribing? And if you're not ready to do that yet, at least hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down and get down in the comments and leave me a comment. Don't forget, for the July challenge, we're recording our steps this month just to see where we get as a channel. Well, let's talk about this comment that I got very briefly, and then we'll talk about the kale video I was going to make. And I don't know if the commenter was trying to be funny or was serious. It's one of those things, you know, there's no context in written words. And the comment was something like, you should really watch Dr. Bernard before you end up with a serious heart issue. Well, I've seen people talking about their diet on the other side of the aisle. And you know, we're not going to get into all the fallacies of their arguments, or, you know, taking a look at one person versus looking at another person and deciding who looks healthier. We're not going to get into any of that. What I want to talk about is, let's assume this commenter is absolutely 100% right. I'm going to go ahead and cross the street here. Now that I've gotten to the top of that big hill, it actually goes up a little further here. I usually turn down that way if I'm going around a long block, but because my footage was bad for what I was going to put together today, I don't have time to do a huge walk and still get this video out in time. But what I want to talk about is, let's say this commenter was 100% right. They're not, by the way, but let's just say they were for the sake of argument. That eating this way is heading me towards a massive heart attack or a stroke. The thing I want to talk about is, would I rather continue on the way I'm going or change my diet and perhaps live a little longer? But with the caveat of, if I change my diet just to so-called live a little longer, which I don't believe is true. There, I'm going to turn around. Now you guys can see me better, and I don't have to worry about moving the camera around. But what I'm trying to say here is that even if I knew that I was going to die of a heart attack or a stroke next week, I would not change a thing. Why, you might ask? Bob, because I know what my body was like on a standard American diet. And I've never really talked about it a whole lot, but I could show you the emails and the groups that I still belong to. Because one of the things I was going to try at one point in time was the eating on the other side of the diet. It didn't work out real well. I did all of the things that these people say I should do to actually get healthier and prevent my risk of heart disease. Well, I have heart disease. I've had a triple bypass surgery. And I can tell you that for the first time in my life, I'm actually living. I'm doing the things I want to do. I'm doing things I never thought I could do. Like taking this walk for you this morning, doing my own yard work, going to the Y, working out, in the pool 2 days a week, on the cable machine 2 days a week, doing push-ups and wall pull-ups and squats and tons of stretching exercises, going back to dance class. I'm actually living. Whereas prior to starting this way of eating, I was existing. I was just sitting around the house waiting to die. So would I take an additional 5 or 6 years knowing how I felt before this way of eating? Not a chance. I've talked about this before. I just wanted to cover it again because I got that comment last night and my footage got messed up. That's too bad too, because I went out to an acquaintance's pig farm and was standing around. I'd bought myself a bunch of kale and had my cutting board and my big knife with me, and I was going to show you the proper way to prepare kale. And I put it down on the cutting board and I cut it one way, and then I turned to the cutting board and cut it another way and got it all chopped up nice and fine. And then the camera spun around and I threw the kale to a pen full of pigs so that they could take the kale and turn it into bacon. It was a great idea for a video. I wish that had worked out. Like I said, I don't know what happened to my footage, but hopefully I can remake that video at some point in the future. A friend of a friend had to jump through quite a few hoops to get me out there because it is a commercial pig farm. So I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get back over there, but we shall see. But I thought that was going to make a great video. Oh well. But yeah, so let me know in the comments, how are you feeling? If you've been on carnivore for a while, let me know. Would you trade the gains you've gotten for an extra year or two of life? Like I said, I don't believe that's the case. I am fairly well convinced that this is the path to health and longevity. Now, how long that will be to somebody who's already had a triple bypass surgery, I don't know. I don't think any of us know. I could live another 40 years. I could get hit by one of these stupid cars that doesn't slow down for the stop sign. We just never know. But I do want to tell you the tale. I won't tell you her name because I don't want to embarrass her and all of that stuff. But I have someone that's very active on my channel. She comments a lot. She started the carnivore diet about a year ago. And I won't say she was in bad shape, but she was in worse shape than she ever thought she would get into. And now she's doing things that she never thought she'd be able to do. I just got a notification from her. The sale on her house has gone through. Her and her husband have bought an RV and they're going to go travel. What an amazing testimony that is. Someone that can get out there, that could barely do anything, and is now, for the last year has been going for walks on the beach and all that kind of stuff, and now feeling healthy enough and good enough to get out there, buy an RV, and become a nomad. And I know many of us talk about that, think about that. I know that's what I wanted to do when I bought this trailer, and I still may do some of that, but first I have to get my land together down in Texas, and then I may take trips from there. But that's another anecdote, people. You think this person, if they knew they were only going to get to travel in the RV for 6 months before they had a heart attack and died, do you think they would trade another extra couple, 3-4 years of just sitting around the house doing nothing versus getting out and traveling and seeing the world? I don't. I know I wouldn't trade this for anything. So do go ahead and comment and tell me how unhealthy I am, because all those comments help the algorithm. And at some point I'd like the channel to grow a little bit, so be sure and share this with somebody you think might need this information. But hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave me a comment. Don't forget to tell me how many steps you're doing. But that's what I've got for you, this short little video. I hope it made some sort of sense. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I will see you in the next one.